All right, mate, what's happening?
Assalamu alaikum.
Buongiorno.
Hello everyone and good evening. Welcome back to the Welsh Esports League, where last week me and the Charlie, we ran you through
Hello.
some two good beer ones for some best Welsh Valorant we can think of. And today we've got a very good treat. We're going to be looking at the Artists versus the Rejects. Now these two teams are both currently 0 wins and 0 maps at all, completely new. And they need to finish with a win pretty much. What are we thinking?
Yeah, this is like they're both out of contention for Premiership, so this is just playing for that spot in the group. Going into the Championship as that first seed team, it's a bit of a boon for them.
I mean, if you have to think about it this way, you need to finish with a win. You can't finish exactly 0. Nobody wants to be the guy to finish with 0 wins. And unfortunately, that's just how the tournament works. That's how sports work. There's always going to be winners, there's going to be losers, but it's the experience that we gain. But, you know, speaking of last week, can we get maybe a little recap of the groups?
Yeah, as you can see, Group A, the Group of Death, as we were referring to it, remained quite open. SEA Dragons almost certainly locked in for that top spot, but the second place going into that Premiership contention is still wide open. Pit Ponies and Wolfhounds, one apiece. And over on Group B, like we said, it's been secured. Wizards and Goats going through. Artists and Rejects fighting for their lives, just not to go 0-4 here, 0-3.
Yeah, and if you really think about it, the Artist Rejects, these are two brand new rosters. We watched the Artist last week, and the Artist, I have some familiar faces. We got Avalongs, we got Livid. We've seen them all play around with different teammates. So they're still very new to the league. However, they still need to play and try and get that matchup. But realistically, this game is it should be a fun, close game between the two teams, as they're both going to be playing for experience and playing for that third place. It's, you know, maybe might seem pointless to some people, but it's quite important that we find out what that third place is and how we look in ours, so the teams can understand and see where their weak points lie. So, you know, the saying goes, the numbers don't lie. I mean, what we're even looking at the map veto here.
Oh yeah, the map veto, we got Artists taking the first ban, getting rid of Bind, Corrode and Pearl, whilst the Rejects got rid of Breeze and Split, choosing to go to that Abyss instead of the Haven. Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, Abyss is a very fun map. It's not as new as it used to be, however, it's still quite nice. It has been pulled out of the map pool every so often, and it comes back in. It's a really good, fun map to watch, and especially with that new rework now. I believe the rework did come in through the last Welsh Esports League. However, you know, it's still fun. Still have to build around it. Still have to see what's different. Obviously with the mid changes and stuff. So I'm quite excited, really. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's a fresh new map. It looks to be quite fun. Can't wait to see if anyone falls off today.
I don't think anyone will fall off. We gotta have it locked in. But looking at the meta and stuff for this map, it's really right now, especially in the tier 2, tier 1 scene, they're running a lot of double duelist. It's very fun. It's a good Yoru map as well for fast rotations. And realistically, these teams, if they don't need to stick to the meta, but if we can get the fundamentals down, that's just perfect for what we need.
Oh yeah, you see a lot of Yoru in either Waylay or Jet. And as I say that, we have a Yoru locked in for the Artists, and the Rejects have a Waylay. Both of them kind of looking for these meta comps over here. Now, what I'm interested in is that veto.
Veto on this map is it's a very good choice, but it's really it's really difficult to say the least, especially with him being one of the, I'd say, neglected Sentinels. I don't see a lot of teams really playing him, and if they do, it's very minuscule, very minor, maybe one map. But I do like the Veto pick. His util and his gear is so good for some holds. But I mean, I'm more interested on this side for the rejects. I'm more interested on this 5 duelist pick. We've got a Yoru, Waylay, Phoenix, Jet, and Reyna. Hopefully, they don't lock this in.
As you say, we got a breach
wow.
coming through, a server coming through, looking at more of that Haven style of composition over here. Certainly compared to that more Abyss focused comp from the artists.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think especially now, more than ever, Yoru has never been more perfect. Obviously, some of the changes that he had over the last few seasons has been kind of diminishing. For example, like his ult, you know what I mean? Being able to use any of his util in his ult, apart from just the TP. You can't flash out of it or anything like that. I think that's such a sad change to have for him. But teams are still coping well with it.
Yeah, those nerfs to the ult, they've definitely taken a level of creativity out of the character, but he's still quite a strong threat. Being able to rotate fast, to fill in as that initiator on the flash, to entry with those TPs, to break Sentinel util with the clone, he's a full package.
Full package and not. We're still going to have to see how Dandy 132 copes with it. Hopefully it's going to be a good one. Unfortunately, the last time we did actually see the artist, it was a 13-2 win to the opposing team. But it's hopefully not going to be a difference. Baguette starts us off with a quick A-main swing, try and find impact, does find value and finds out where the rejects lie. Apart from that, Baguette has to go back and has to reject it.
Yeah, having to immediately give up that space that they just tried to jockey for. That's the power of that Waylay. You can dive in and get out unpunished. It's excellent info gathering.
I mean, the info gathering here is really pinnacle. They're going to be moving up to mid now, try and see what they can find, try and do a little bit of mid round. Dati, Art and Clyde, going to open this up and find Dati, finding him down, pushing him down to the mid. Says Flary, trying to find the trades. Arlocks go down. No more smokes now for the artist, sorry. And the rejects now are still having to pull back and try and group up together as we finally go into a man advantage for the artists.
Yeah, and the players of the rejects are low. Evening it up, but the health does not tell the same story. Spike, a little bit isolated, just up triple stacked onto it.
Left.
The artists are gonna have to really fight for this.
With the time going down now, we do need a little bit of support, need a little bit of oomph, try and find out where these rejects lie. Teope will be going, and Dandy just gets the plant. That TP is insane, manages to find the plant down with just 14 seconds. Now the rejects, all low HP, are going to have to group up and find something.
That trip to slow down anyone coming through, destroyed. But they don't look to clear. Nebula gets one, Baguette finds the trade.
Last player standing.
Dan left in a 2v1 in that main. There's no way to nothing he has left
Player standing.
except his gun, but it seems to be enough so far.
Fun does find one, and Dandy instantly 1v2 first round of the thing, and Dandy showing up. I was asking about his Yara, and he's clearly showing it, and it's looking really good. Artists open us up, even though I added a man onto their roster in that 3v3 man advantage apparently, but it's still looking really good. Baguette was going really strong though, some really nice shots, but ultimately just the use of that TP and grabbing that spike is kind of what pushed Artists over that line. The rejects had the right idea to try and hold that spike, but it wasn't enough. That Yara literally alley-oop, grab the bomb, back on air.
Yes, that's the power of those fast rotates. Jump in, safely TP out, and then get spiked down immediately. Really thought they were locked out of that round with the 20 seconds left on the clock.
No time left, but the artists now are going to get a rejection of that main space as the rejects push. Try and grab space, try and take what they can, and it's going in their way. Flary now taking out our launch. Nebula Ice has to find some. Finds the first one. Flary goes down. Tries to get second, but it's instantly traded by Iron Thunder, who now has a Guardian. It's a great weapon upgrade. 2v2 now. Both teams have weapons. Hopefully it does not fumble.
One enemy remaining.
And the Livid, I'm third and still. Baguette
Wow.
as well. That is perfect. Thrifty for the rejects, and it's put us 1-1. And that actually might be the first Thrifty we've casted.
I think it has been. They've just running them over. That's the power of those pistols once they're in a group. It's very hard. It's very hard to stop 5 people jumping at you.
You know, I always like to say that you can get 5 people doing the correct thing, disorganized, or you can get 5 people doing the wrong thing, organized. And 9 times out of 10, the organized people are going to be better than the disorganized ones.
Completely agree. The artists switching up their focus, going for that main space, whilst on a bit of a light buy, and the rejects have forced themselves back up. Full rifles for the most part.
Bandy's going to open us up in the round. It's Octo loses it. No more smokes now for the rejects. But 5v4 situation as the time goes down. They're just running it into mid space here, trying to find out what they can discover. See if anyone's going to step out of line. But Baguette not even going to try and have a group now with the Baguette and see that they're just going to pivot towards B.
Nice and slow now.
Yeah, just poking and prodding either side. None of it's
what a
going
stun.
well for them. Oh, that was beautiful from Thunder. Just absolutely decimating that mid hole. They got completely boxed in there. Either side couldn't poke their way out of anything. And here we go into the first full gun round of the game.
2-1 rejects, and that answer that they had to the Artist's pistol was really good. Livid now having a rough start. Unlocks from Livid. Those 2 players I highlighted during our first segment, and it seems to me that once they can get those 2 started, they can be really dangerous. They're really good shooters, really good and valuable. But rejects now are gonna have a lot to ask for as Baguette walking into the main with the op. Can see finds value, but Livid, exactly when I say it, manages to find Baguette and instantly takes that op out. And it's now a man advantage for the artists.
That's a massive, massive tool out there for the rejects. Livid just in that little bit of an off angle. The op not ready for it. No chance to escape. That's big.
Yeah, the artists now are going to be using that KO to enter sight as I am now sat in heaven trying to find something as a whole bunch of artists coming to paint a picture, which will be the spike. But meanwhile on mid, Nebula Ice managed to find Dai, but instantly traded by Flary. Now a 4v3 situation with the artists having to hold that post plant. Rejects going to get ready for a retake. It's going to be all quiet now, but if they can get this sorted.
But Thunder just dumping that util, trying to make some sort of space for himself. Finds that Aralog's Danfools too.
Last one down.
Livid
Left
again.
in a 2v1 and not able to clear it up.
It was looking really good. I like that 1-2 split there. You know, have that breach in heaven with the good util and then double up through coming through CT. It's just sometimes in those situations you might just be better off just playing 3 rather than the 1-2. However, it's not too bad. Finally equalizing us up, and it seems to be that we're going to have a close match today.
Yeah, with it, like you were saying, running a 3-man just straight down one usually is good, but when you've got that breach online with all the util, that's better at range. Just having him in a better position to support. What could have sealed the round there, but we get Livid execute straight into the site. Damn, falls. And site falls to the artists in a 5v4 retake.
Larry now is going to be investing in the ult, trying to find some value, but unfortunately Spike's going to go down and nothing's going to come from it. Baguette also could be investing that way, Leo, but Nebula just swinging into CT and managing to find a Baguette. Meanwhile, the trades are going back and forth. The artist managing to do it again, holding that post plant down, and Flary 1v3 has to find something, needs someone to swing out, isn't going to be given it. Livid has to walk in, finds Arnologs. It's doable. 1v2, 23 HP left. They're going to respect it. They're going to be disciplined. They're just going to let that time go down.
Yeah, these holds have been good, but this round's not yet over. Flary making a lot of noise, just trying to root someone out. Livid swings, clears it up.
Breaking our equalizer.
These artists have been looking a lot more on the same page today. last week we said when on their defense side of Bind that they were so disconnected. They were running through stuff separately, and that all seems to have been cleared up this week.
I agree. I think that's a really good observation. The only shameful thing I could really say that I've noticed so far is the rejects. They have the ideas, right? I do like, you know, investing using this Waylay, TP, and A-main, trying to get something, but it just isn't exactly being done correctly. As we get now, really interesting. Manages to just run it down as they go for a full mid fight, 5v5 here on the mid space, but Dan's going to find Daip, and the picks are going to go in favor of the rejects. This is actually a great response and a very good call.
Yeah, artists using that mid aggression to just know that one side's got to be weaker. There can't be many people there, just running it through. Breach not invested.
I thought he was going to use it there, low-key. I really did think he was going to use it. Oh, Nebula. No. That's rule
not
1
today.
veto school there. Yeah, you do not do that against the veto with the veto. Breach is invested, 4v2 now. And Livid manages to find Iron Thunder. They have to hold it down. Just 30-ish more seconds now for the spike to go down. And Arching Client Livid, a lot to do on that bag site.
One enemy remaining.
Livid finding one, and Octo also finding Arching Client. 1v2 now for Livid. Manages to get the third. Is he going to be able to have one? Beautifully done. Swings and gets Beget. Very nicely done from Livid. And that is a 2v4-1 from the artist and 4-2 in favor of Dan. That is a really good, you know, little duo, little hold there.
That was lovely shooting as well. Yes. Well, you got to say, it was falling apart for them. Thunder doing the right call, really, holding that breach out as much as I wanted to see someone knocked off. But holding it there was an excellent call, but Livid just pulling it out of the hat. Really shouldn't have won that. But it pushes the artists to 4.
When you play Duelist, the only thing you can trust is in your Vandal or your Phantom, and in this case, he trusted in his Vandal and he found major value out of it. It was just really nicely done. They played off each other, they traded, and that's exactly what we need, and Livid just cleaved it up at the end. Now, Artist, it's looking a bit dangerous if you're the rejects. We got 4 ults online and already taking that mid space, coming straight into the first 20 seconds. Iron Thunder, not going to find any value with the Vash. However, still does find Livid. Forget as well, taking picks. Now, going back to the rejects, as I speak, Analog finds Forget. 4v3 in favor of the rejects.
Yeah, I think we just saw Dan attempt a fake clone here. The artists are definitely starting to play with their food, with looking at that TP and the fake clone. It's all, but rejects are not letting them get away with it. Plant not going down, just holding the site, freezing, waiting, putting that little bit of confusion, but the smoke comes out and the plant. They know it. Rejects activate, coming in through the security angle, doubling up into a 2v2. Octo finds one. Aralox gets 3.
Again,
4 for the Omen, man.
It's really good. They're playing these, you know, they're man down in these situations, but they're playing off each other impeccably. Now, you know, I was talking about Livid being 0-3, 0-2 in the other round. Now it's 9-4. Made a statement and has that outlaw in hand. Where we're looking at this economy, Charlie, it's not really ideal for the rejects.
No, it really isn't. Forced onto the sheriffs. One Stinger invested. Looking to see some kind of trap set up specifically for the Vice here.
Yeah, the rejects have a really good idea and planning. You know, they're fighting these spaces together, and most of the time it does go in their favor. But unfortunately, when it comes to retakes, they're just not on the same page.
No, you want to see them start fighting up earlier. Ooh, Flary just spotted out over the top of the smoke. Loses his life for it. Octo goes down 2 in mid.
The picks again going in favor of the artists, as we still have all these ults that can be invested, but they're not even going to need to, as these guns it's just going to be more superior. Analog's just running there. It's going to be completely disrespecting the rejects, and the 0 kills on the board, but has a good chance to make a name to show us this underdog mentality. Finds his first kill. Come on, that's what I'm talking about.
This is what we see. All the players finally online. Nothing more coming of it. But that's a little bit of a confidence booster there for you.
Oh, I always love it when you know, I love watching the bottom person on the leaderboard. I think it's such an entertaining story sometimes. Like, if you have someone that's just having such a bad game, I always have in the back of that mind that they can always just switch and you know, kind of come back.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how people cope with that pressure. Because your teammates aren't going to mention it, but you can feel it. You really,
Yeah,
you know, you are going
100%.
0-7.
And it's, you know,
Get out of my way.
it starts to snowball as well as it keeps going forward. You're not going to really be able to kind of cope with it, and eventually you're going to have to. You got to keep looking at the leaderboard and seeing that gap get bigger as it goes from 0-7 to 0-8, 0-9. But you know, finding that first kill does kind of put a hold to it. So it's gonna be a good sign. I'm hoping for a day comeback, honestly.
Yeah, Rejects clearing out that B main space, spotting no one. The artist just leaving the veto there to hold as they group up into A main. Rejects stuck in this 2-1-2 split almost. Breach ready to rotate around. And they haven't made any noise. I say that.
Very
Execute
coordinated.
coming through.
Very coordinated. Alanlox gets that bomb down. It's going to be the first 5v5 postman we have as Archer and Livid are looking to fight into the CT space here. Very good flash, but it doesn't find any value of it. Octo find the first pick on Alanlox, and Flurry, the rejects, they're finally shooting back.
Adrian, Claire, and Dan have something to say about that though. Brought back into a 2v2.
Last player standing.
1v1, Nebula Eyes versus Iron Thunder. And Iron Thunder gets that beautiful 3k and manages to close it out with the bomb finally being defused by Rejects in a successful retake. 3-6 and the breach are online. I Am Thunder might actually bring the Thunder W. I like that spray. What the hell?
Unk still got it. I agree. Unk still got it. Nice little
What age are we
3K
considering Unk? What age do you become Unk?
In esports, 20.
20. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I got a year left of me, guys.
I don't.
And like,
I'm gone. I'm Unk.
Retirement home calls.
So,
Rejects now. I didn't have to kind of slow this down. I mean, it's really good. It was a good pace, good pace change. Finally getting that defusal, but going to be holding this pixel angle, and that timing is so annoying. You can't see the walls, but Livid crosshair is good. Manages to find Baguette. First kill goes in favor of the artist as a 5v4 man disadvantage for the rejects.
yeah, that pick is drawn rotates over, but they're all just grouping up in mid again. Paranoia comes through. 2 full.
It's just
Rejects
a way for
left
Abyss,
into it.
really.
Yeah, Rejects 2v5.
One enemy
You
remaining.
gotta start feeling they're locked down with this round, unless Octo pulls off something amazing.
But even so, the bomb's gone down and still has 2 players to clear out, and it seems like they're going to give it to Alanlox. Wants to go up to Octo's face, but Archer Klein is going to take it. 7-3 now, and the artist starting to build that momentum.
Yeah, their executes have been incredible. Is what we're seeing here. They're well coordinated. They're explosive, and the rejects are gonna need some hero plays to get themselves out of this.
It's for sure a case of discomfort if you're the rejects, and I feel like as well we still have the breach show, we have the Silverall, hopefully we cross the Valley, we're about to get Waylay back online, but our buy isn't going to be looking too shabby.
No, Dan is on his way to clear out the site. Livid's slotted up into heaven, but they know that breach favors. But
Popping the breach on.
just
Livid
ahead of the ult.
disrespect the stroke.
Catches 2. What a disrespect.
Yeah, he's just literally just going to walk through, find it. That breach is just unlucky timing as now Flash has gone up to heaven. Livid finds 2, has to find 1, knows that the 2 opponents come in, but there's a weapon disadvantage for the rejects here, so Livid should be able to take this down with ease.
Last player standing.
Wait, he's actually fair play. He's actually these shots are very nice. Yeah, these shots are very nice. He's shooting his prime today. I'm struggling to even keep it as a professional as I can. That was just I gotta appreciate a good shot.
Yeah. It's not often that you're impressed by eco frags, but Livid is pulling some good stuff out today.
Let's not forget his clutch as well.
Oh, that was magical. 15-5.
15-5. Really,
Truly.
really set the sentiment after I said after I highlight the fact. Well, I mean, Alalox is going 6-7, but after highlighting the fact that they're both having that breath start, finally starting to come back with it.
Yeah, we're yet to see Depth on the other side pull off the same kind of thing yet. That's what they'll need going in.
The night
the
is
second
young,
half.
Charlie. The night is young. They has plenty of time.
One whole half to go. We could see some. Not
Hopefully, Octo now is going to be walking back into mid. It's kind of miss, but the rejects, they're dropping like flies. They're so disorganized. The last two players now on A, and they're still giving them 2 1v1s. Analog's going to be using that Omen ult and just getting the bomb down, but Flary, they've taken the entire mid space. They have to re-clear this, and it's just really difficult. But if you're Flary and you have a Phantom with your name on it, it's not going to be too hard. But Archer and Client is just going to completely just swing wide and say a big and nutter and just get both, and putting us in a 9-3 half in favor of the artists. And I thought it was gonna, we were looking really close at the start. To be fair, Rejects had a quite a good first 2 rounds. Good response to that pistol, but since then the artists have just built a lot of momentum, and now it's looking kind of impossible.
Yeah, it was competitive for a while, but then the artists got that snowball rolling, and it really put the pressure onto the Rejects to make hero plays. They just ended up so disorganized coming into the later rounds of that half. Hopefully they can find a reset coming into a new half, a new side. A 9-3 curse on the table.
9-3 curse. I don't know if you believe in curses, but we'll see if this one comes into fruition. Artists now back on that defense side with that double duelist comp. Hopefully the Rejects can make something of this, especially with the utility they have to set up Baguette. Nebula Ice is going to be met, and we're talking about util, that veto, that chain is going to be able to grab, and they're not going to clear Nebula. They're not going to clear Nebula. He fights too.
You should not be getting away with that.
The punishment there, the call. It could be bad communication, but he's still going to go for that 3. And artists still Livid and Nebula, and they have bomb on site. Dipe, if this is a time, let's cut the professionalities for a second. Come on, he's got this one. I'm rooting for him. Good damage from that bandit, but drop a quick reload and walk in, and Nebula Eyes. Nice 4K to start us off, and it was a great hold. Let's be honest, that was a great sight from him. But unfortunately, I feel like the Jacks should have cleared that out. Baguette made the call. They knew he was there, but unfortunately, after he TP'd back, they just completely forgot about him.
Yeah, it was like he was almost like a ghost, just hovering around that backside, known but forgotten.
I just want to point something out here, Charlie. We were talking about esports unks, and I've just looked into the Valorant live production channel, and Slayer John is saying he's going to be 39 this year. Happy early birthday to Slayer John, honestly. That doesn't mean... What does that make him if 20 is an unk?
Octogenarian.
Oh, what does that even mean?
It's someone who's 80. 80 plus.
If
you're in your 80s, you're an octogenarian. Just like Slayer John.
I would not have that, John, but speaking of 80, and so to be quite morbid, the artists are just playing with their food and completely taking every single gun into the bonus round. It's not looking too promising. We haven't seen any timeouts. The Rejects are just kind of letting it slide, letting it go. But if we're talking about form, artists are looking way stronger this week than they were last week. I wonder if it was like a opening day thing. They don't know how the tournament's going to go, but unfortunately, it might be too little too late for the artists, as they can't really do much against a 2-0.
No, but like you said, maybe that's why the nerves have settled. They're just playing for fun at this point. And suddenly, Nebula's, these holds have been dominant, really. They're too... I wouldn't be heading towards that B site anytime soon if I was the Rejects.
No, that B side, Nebula Ice is kind of... He's marked it out for me, really. It's quite scary, especially with I'm Thunder and Baguette. Just the picks now. We're speaking about Baguette and I'm Thunder, and the picks are actually going into the Rejects' favor. They do need this round, and artists did keep every single gun they had from last round, so they can't afford to lose this, as they will be put on the full bars. If it's really just a matter of how many guns we can take off the Rejects.
Yeah, Adrian Client just left alone on sides. This hold's not gonna... It shouldn't do well. especially with the veto and the omen far away. The hits coming through, and he's forced to back off, give up that site, and come back with
Spike
reinforcements.
planted.
But the good thing is the rejects are in a man advantage here, but we have seen that the artists do like to win with the man disadvantage. Doesn't matter to them. The rejects now are going to have to be working on their trading here if they want this. The position, like I'm Thunder walking into CT here is pivotal for the rejects.
Yeah, we got Dape just sat back.
It's a good blind. Oh my god, that is. I mean, do you want to talk about that, should I? Because Analogs is just going in with the Bucky, and that Bucky, a little bit of time left, has the Omen smoke, but isn't going to be given it. Daip. Oh my god, come on, Daip. Come on, let's get this.
Now's the time. Now's the time.
He won it, it doesn't matter, he won it. That's right. Come on. I'm even clapping for that, that's what I'm talking about. Always root for the underdog. The underdog mentality is so good.
And all the guns being taken out of his hands too.
Yeah, just ignore the fact that he pied, okay? It did not happen. It's not happened. He's going 14 and 3. It's a wonderful KD for the
We've got pie for
the
Slayer
rejects.
John's birthday.
Okay, that is okay. John, we might have some words here.
Please let me come back.
Artists now, they're too old. They have the veto and the omen up, but it's going to be quite difficult as that info going to be telling the artists exactly what the rejects are planning to do. And they scan them out, manage to take the util off, and so far not a lot of rotates happening. They're holding their line. They don't really need to do much.
Yeah, falling quiet in this default.
They realise he's scary on that B side. He's looking like Thanos, and he's going to be investing in this ult here to kind of deny any util that scans him with no damage. And just pretty much giving everything that Baguette walking straight into that cross. Unfortunately, Nebulize, he's ready for it. And the first blood going for the side of the artist again. Winning this round puts in them a match point, and hopefully rejects will not end the third. But Archer and Kylan again just completely disrespecting the walk up into A, and Octo he doesn't know what to do. He's like, unfortunate.
Yeah, the shots are clean from Etrid, but the pick really has drawn everyone away.
30
Larry
seconds left.
kind of almost boxed himself in here. All falls quiet again.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, the shots
Spike
are just
down
nice.
A.
Archer and Kylan just it's match point and artists 12 and 4. And a really good response and some good
Match
improvement.
point.
But rejects now a whole mountain to climb. If we wanna get Welsh, they got the entirety of Snowden to climb back up if they want to get this comeback.
Yeah, it's a big task.
That is a big task, especially with Snow at the top.
Mistakes.
I mean, it's doable. It's
Bit of
doable.
ice at the top, could say.
Artists have to they have to not play to lose in a way. They have to play to win rather than play not to lose, and if they can get that, then they should be able to close this out. It's a really weird way of saying it, but Baguette already typed in, and artists know exactly what's in. Oh god, I'm glad. Hopefully everyone else does.
It's gonna... all the investment coming through, but the numbers start to fall in the artist's favour anyway. Even Dan,
One enemy remaining.
Dan unaccounted for
Spike
catches
down
one.
A.
Knows
Last
what they know
player
what the last
standing.
is.
It's a
Spikes
1v1.
isolated on site. You're
Flare
really
versus
tricky in
Dundee.
that 1v1. Lots of good tools for it. Just taking this time. The clock's in his favour.
He has to
And
plant
Dan
the
knows.
bomb. He has to come down. Has drone. Is going to be investing. Try and find out where Dan is. Knows he's backside. Dan, all he has to do is just play his life. But giving up that spike there, and Flary is going to be able to get that plant.
Spike planted.
Dan now walking out of CT. Flash comes up, but Flary's going up top, trying and fight with. But then none of them are looking at each other. And
there.
Dandy, yeah, just Flary is just unfortunate. It's just walked out of sight, and that's going to be 13-4, and Artists are going to be topping and getting that 3rd place in that Group B section, and realistically, very, very well deserved. It's unfortunate for the rejects. They had a good show, and they had a good few rounds, good ideas as well, but ultimately it was Artists' mechanical gameplay that kind of just won them in the end. What would you say, Charlie?
Yeah, I'd agree that tactics got better as well. Their teamwork certainly improved. They must have been scrimming a lot in this past week. Honestly, I'm excited to see them in the championship. If this is the improvement they can make in one.
If they can get that improvement, if they can show that against some of these good teams, especially with some scary faces on there, like the LP Ghost roster, no biased. It's going to be quite dangerous, really. Now, coming up to after we go for a break, we're going to be looking at LP Ghost. Do you want to talk about our next matchup? I'm going to be as humble as I can in the corner.
Yeah, don't get all biased on us. Next game is the Wizards versus the Goats. This is our top 2 teams setting themselves up for that 1st seed place, playing against the 2nd seed of Group 1. So strong advantage coming in. I'm expecting to see a little bit of distance from whoever wins its next game.
Especially with the Goats as well, they did win. Not last season. They were grand finalists in last season. Won the one before. Very good roster. Shout out that roster. Very good players on there. I won't name them out of respect, but unfortunately, did come into the grand finals. Did lose actually. I believe it was an 0-2 loss against them. So coming into this, and going to hopefully try and get top of the board for this group. It's going to be good. And hopefully they get a good playoffs run. But we're actually going to throw off to a break here. So we'll see you back in a second with some master gameplay.
Can't use that yet.
Last player standing. Clutch. Down. Attacker spawn.
In the dirt.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, nice and slow now. Too slow.
Enemy remaining.
No more thorns.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Clutch. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Okay, it's ready.
My ult.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Your fault. Right.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining. On B. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Flawless. One enemy remaining. Spike down A. One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
I have the spike.
Spike planted.
Welcome back, everyone. And before the break, we left you on an absolute cliffhanger. We just had a really good game between the Artists and Rejects, and now we're going back for a really good and the final game of the group stage. We're about to look at LPX Goats versus the Wizards. Now, I'm Lendoth, I'm joined by the Charlie, and
Hello.
It's going to be a very exciting game. And Charlie, tell us about these groups. We were having a really good discussion during the break, but some of the scores we got is insane. Actually, before I let you know, I'll just let you know that the last round it went Wizards 13, the Wolfhounds Travel Esports game 13-2, Pit Ponies 13-1, the Sea Dragons, and Artist has 13-4 the Rejects, which we watched. Tao, let's talk a little bit about that 13-1.
Yeah, that's an upset and a half just by score. Only winning one round for the Sea Dragons, this dominant team coming into today, truly is an upset, and that's what's placed them down into second in their group, decided by round differential between the top three teams. It's got a sting.
Yeah, the sting it's going to be a sting in itself. However, we're going to go now for this Goats Wizards game. It's going to be a deciding game for the seeds. Both teams now are 2-0, and just like the last game, we talk about how one team can't end on an 0-3. One team cannot end 2-0 together. We're going to have to find out who plays first place and who gets that top seed to join teams like the Pit Ponies and the Sea Dragons. And realistically, Charlie, it's balling. It's anyone's game. Now, I'm trying my best not to be biased here. However, I'm going to have to say that LPX Goats is going to, for me, that's the favorite to win this game. They've got some amazing talent on that team. They have a 13-year-old Radiant, by the way. He's Welsh, by the way. That's up the Wales Valorant. Come on, that's ridiculous. We were talking about we were talking about ages and stuff coming into this 13, and I have actually seen a little bit of his gameplay before, not in like another tournament. This is going to be cool to LP to mention. Over the summer and over the school holidays, they'll always throw like this young development talent tournament, and seeing some of the potential and seeing this Pyro child just absolutely run it down is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation to be in. Radiant at 13, that's a prodigy by all definitions of the word. It's going to be exciting to see. We haven't watched the LP Goats play yet.
Nope,
So
we have not seen them play.
We're in for a treat.
I was about to say, yeah, but where's this veto here? Come on. Tell me what map we got. Please be a good map.
No. I'm afraid all roads lead to Haven.
Okay,
You can't
no
go
problem.
a day without it.
No
You
problem,
cannot
no
go
problem.
a day without it.
I mean, yeah, Goats ban Abyss, Wizards ban Pill, the Goats ban Split, Wizards ban Breeze, Goats ban Corrode, and Wizards ban Bind. So realistically, we didn't have much of a choice. It was either Haven or Bind. I would take Haven in that sense. Although 3 map, 3 sides, it's been played thousands of times. One of the oldest maps in the map pool. It's pretty hard to not play and change it. So it's gonna be very basic Valorant, but realistically, it's gonna be Battle of the Cores, Battle of the IGL, and hopefully the Goats have cooked up something. Have the Wizards? They could have a good response.
Yeah, Goats picking that defense side. I hope they have something properly cooked up, because I just feel it's easier to play on that attack side where you can control the pace of the game.
Now, the Wizards, we were talking about the Pit Ponies. The Wizards, we have seen them before. We do know LJPH. He's an absolute veteran of the Welsh Esports League. Really good player. However, he's not been as dominant as lately. Unfortunately, has that second place curse and always finishing top 2, top 3. Hopefully this is the season. Well, not against the LP Goats. This is pretty much always keep my mouth shut. But just tell me about this Aegis Flag before I talk.
Yeah, we're looking for quite common looks over here. We got the very modern Yoru Wele Mosquito comp on one side, and some very, very classic Valorant for the Wizards.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite dangerous now. Looking at these names, we've got it's quite nice. We've got I believe this roster that we are running today is a sense of. So Misu, very, very good player. I actually, one of my ex-teammates, so I know he's a very good shooter. Oh, wait, actually, no, that was before. He was my replacement, but still, I've spent a lot of time with him. Met him in LAN. Such a good person. Swedish Go. We've got the brother duo. We've got him and Pooh, Kai MP4 and Mac MP4. Very good brother duo. And then the young guns. Wait, am I wait, no, sorry guys, I actually lied. There's some different changes on this roster here. I believe him might be Pyro. It's kind of hard when you have the name down on the website and a completely different name. But Rube, and Catboy Kitsu, another one of those young guns from that LP show match. And then obviously we are so aware of this this Wizards roster, but it's always good because they're always one of the best teams to come into this series. They're always shooting. LGPH is really good. I've always put a credit for his IGL ability. He knows most of the maps like back of his hand, and every single time, especially when I was starting out in this casting, I would always go to the stream and always have a good chat with him about his map put choices.
Yeah, looking, especially with that double initiator comp, you're looking to control the map, cool, as well as you can, keep the information flowing for your side. And on the attack side, that should be fairly simple for them.
Yeah, it's really nice to see as well, and obviously not to discredit him. Porridge is in that coach slot. However, I believe the roster will be. I believe him is Pyro, so we'll be talking about him a lot. 13-year-old Welsh Radiant, so very good for the Welsh scene. But coming up against some veterans, it's time to talk about the new gen. If you look at Tier 1 Valorant, I've been kind of putting a credit a lot to these Tier 2 teams, bringing up some great players. Over in Americas, you have Fury, a pretty much full Tier 2 roster, and trying to put the new gen. Hopefully, we can see the same with this GOATS roster for the Wizards.
Yeah, and the GOATs, they're off to a fast start. Misu already right behind the stack.
Oh, it's just a great call. But Lugia is not going to find a chance. Misu's going to take it down. First blood going in favor of the GOATs, as now the Wizards have to go inside with the man disadvantage, and the GOATs are going to be chill. They're just going to play it out here. Edgebait has to get his bomb down, and the fight is going to be going to CT, and it's going to be a 5v4 for the side of the GOATs.
The shots coming through, right clicks. They drop
not even a chance. Yeah, Pew is going to put us down and completely close out that round and gets the first 3k, and hopefully he can do the same on LAN this weekend. He might be able to do it in the Welsh Esports League, but could he do it on a cold, rainy night in Kettering?
That's where magic happens. Cinderella stories are made in Kettering.
Hashtag not an ad. Sorry, John.
Not an ad.
Not an ad. But no, first round going for the favour of the GOATs. What are we thinking here?
Well, I didn't mind the play from the Wizards. Just checking out both those extremities, but they just weren't. They didn't seem aware of that mid push.
No, it would have been really nice for Lugia to get his there. 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Cover going out.
I think now it's going to be pretty important for the Wizards to just find something, see if they can. If we can get this bomb down in the second round, it'd be quite ideal for them. But GOATs now they're going to be all calm. It's all quiet as the Wizards now try and cast the spell for the round.
Yeah, very traditional little anti-eco coming through. Just focusing on that mid space, looking to finish
Kitsu is going to find it.
Find these close angles.
And now Wizards find themselves again in another man disadvantage. I had to do a little bit of a good reflex at this state. It is not looking ideal for the Wizards. The start now, the GOATs are starting, even though we're only 2 rounds in.
On target.
And I jinxed it. Lugia is just effing garage window. Now I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Oh, it's sneaking through.
Kai.
The boom goes uncleared. What's this? Oh! It's another 3k for the Cypher. What a start.
We can't before. Recently played in Eclipse under Heavener. He's a very good player. Unfortunately, just kind of cut it out short. Had some really good legends on that roster in Tober and Deck, but unfortunately could not find a way to cross that line and get out of Eclipse. But he is building that VCL experience, and it's always good to see a homegrown talent to kind of build it up. It's going to be now kind of difficult for them to hopefully win this round, as they did maybe take a gun down or two, but LGPH making the call, but the guns and the buys and the shield is not full.
The GOATs are looking to very heavily contest this space. Misu fighting Lugia. It's not going well for him at the start.
No, Misu, he's a really good player when it comes to that. He's able to just kind of swing, and he put him on that position. He's always good for one, and then just goes back. It's when he played on the Ray Academy for those few years, it's one of his those who shall not be named, by the way. It's one of those times of a case of if he can get it up there and if he's confident in himself, it would be perfect for him.
Yeah, but that kill just leaves A locked down. The map has certainly shrunk for the Wizards, focusing more on that mid space. Pooh just holding down the C angle as well.
We see him in these tight scenarios. He's able to find one and find his. Unfortunately, KYC is going to get the better of him, and Pyros is going to get traded, but Agna quickly to trade it back. Still 2v3.
Remaining.
1v2 for the side of the Wizards, and Kitsu now going to be coming into Garage, and LGBH is going to be aware of this.
Yeah, just an unfortunate timing there. Gets you dropped and leaves it all onto Kitsu's shoulders. Gonna have to root out.
Last player standing.
Oh. LGPH just let him slip through, but Egner closes it out.
A good round for the Wizards there. Not really ideal for in terms of economy. They did lose a lot of guns there, so Goat's probably going to have a good idea of this. But you know, at least Agner's got the fidget spinner. Am I right?
Showing off that brand new flex. Just look at it go.
Yeah, it's spinless, and the run it back Luna shot right now, guys. Come on, W ad.
I tell you, I'm quite a big fan of that actually.
You need to pick up one for yourself, or
no? I'm just
I don't blame you.
But looking to contest that A space again. Close smoke, just denying any deep lines.
Last player standing.
It's an excellent reclear.
Ruben Kitsu finding that too, and kind of clearing out of that A space. Bomb down, but CC. Yeah, it's another flaws for the side of the Goats, and you know, it's just hold my tongue. Yeah, I don't know how I can do this anymore. You take it over.
It's gonna go bad for you at some point. But yeah, it's just there's not much to say. They're on fire. Their shots are just magnetic.
To be fair, though, what I will say is this Wizards roster, especially this core, it's definitely a case of the Wizards they can do this. We have seen the pit ponies do comebacks in the past. However, if it comes into fruition, it should do. But this team fight is going to be perfect as they all find out. Kitsu doesn't even have his gun out, but still manages to find Egner. Lugia now is going to swing, find Kitsu, and Trade's coming back and forth. 3v2 now, but Misu beautifully getting that 4K and putting the other round, and that is why he's Swedish phenomenon, honestly.
Oh, it's beautiful. What a clear up for Misu. Just in absolute control today. With him on one side and Pooh on the other, where are you going?
Not a whole lot, and you know it's kind of the thing that Wizards do excel in, and I will say their team play is really good. You know, I was talking about disorganized players versus organized players. If they have a bad idea but they're organized, then LGPH can call a good round. But Misu, finally, that's going to be one of the two giants that you need to take down. Misu going down and finally putting Wizards in that man advantage is exactly what they need to get that momentum back.
Yeah, and it's a big scalp to pick off at the start. I believe this is their first man advantage of the series.
Well, that's ideal, to be fair, but that one round they won, but still.
Yeah, but still, it's a good way to start.
Of course, and you know, dash now to Pooh's side, and still the second giant is still alive, but isn't going to exactly give him a chance. Agner trading out KYSTA, and Rube and Pyro just going to be coming in. Lugia now trying to invest this all, but it's not even going to be doing much. They're just going to walk out the smoke. They're going to walk out. Pyro, he wants it. He wants that kill. He gets it. And 5-1, another round going in favor of the Goats, and Pyro just cooked up an amazing roster for this Goat side.
Yeah, the 13-year-old's clean with it.
He really is, to be fair, he really is. Now, one thing I do want to kind of point out is the fact that the Wizards here, they're not exactly getting that chance to play as a team. They're not really that you know, whatever idea they come up, it's just kind of getting shut down quite fast. And looking at the ult economy, they do have that Killjoy ult that's about to come up, along with the KO ult, which is already Jet Knives. That's probably might get, you know, invested in this round, which it will. It's gonna be a case of trying to find something that works right now. But how many more rounds are we gonna see this before they call the timeout?
Yeah, it's quite hard to get your team play active when Lugia just running in alone. Team play's certainly got that. But as I was saying, it's just hard. It's hard to activate when you're not in a position. You're not able to set up what you want. Just off round swung and dropped.
The Wizards again in a 2v5 now. Sorry. As CC and LJPH have a lot to do, investing the Cypher as well to get the positions, and now everyone's aware of where these players are standing, but not going to even give him a chance. Misu finding LJPH in mid, and CC getting traded out, and Pyro again trading Kine before when he needs to be in 6-1 now. Goats, they're starting to build that mountain.
Yeah, the snowball's coming through now, but we're highlighting LJPH's cooling, but it's not able to get online. Their teamwork it fell apart in that last round. They were just looking for something to get the ball rolling, and they just are unable to find it.
No, and it's quite difficult really, but they do have that good ult economy. They have some things that they can use, and they will be, you know, we will be getting that KO ult from the Wizards, and, you know, dashing into the Cypher site, trying to find something. They're going to have to respect it and play off, and finally a 5v5 retake, and this is where the Wizards excel. We're going to be putting them to the test. We've been talking a big game for their teamwork and their post plants. Let's see how well they can hold it.
Yeah, the KO is just the perfect tool there, shutting down all of the Cypher util, layering over that Killjoy ult just to slow it down.
And again, it just crumbled. I feel like I've jinxed them myself. CC now still 2v4 in favor of Thing, but still plays the Thing, and Misu finding 3. LJPH, the leader, all on his own, finds Thing, but Misu, did he just switch to the Sheriff to kill him? That's the ultimate form of disrespect. He's feeling it today.
It's faster than reloading, I'll give him that.
That's, you know, that is what Gaz said. Switching to your pistols is always faster than reloading.
Yes, it is cheeky.
It is cheeky, and if you're the Wizards now, we're looking at this Brazil scoreline here. I like to call it the Brazil. Do you know why it's called Brazil?
Of course I know why it's called Brazil. It's World Cup.
Exactly so, and it's, you know, you don't really see a lot of comebacks from the scoreline. I feel like the Brazil curse, the Brazil scoreline is kind of difficult for it.
Yeah, it's not an ideal place to be. It's that mental stack that you get from it. You know, every other round you're broke if you don't start winning.
Yeah, it's a pretty good way of looking at it, really. And, you know, if they can get 2 rounds against the Goats, it should bring the economy. They had that full buy bonus as well. A full round win, sorry, bonus. But Rube now, a player we haven't really spoken about, apart from the fact he's a serial rank troller. He's gonna be able to find Agner and put another kill on the board for the Goats, and again another man advantage. But Kitsu is on 1 HP in his half health, but Kitsu is aware that Lugia could have crossed to this position. It's just a matter of when Lugia decides to show himself. Oh, this is disgusting from Kai. He's in their spawn and he finds both of them. The trigger discipline is disgusting. And Lugia finally sweet. He did find Kitsu in the end, but CC all to do it himself. 1v4 blind. They know exactly where he is. Bomb is in the Kai's hands, and this is just a bad round for the Wizards. How many more rounds of this before we get that timeout, LJPH?
Yeah, they're crumbling.
It's the mental pressure.
The pressure's stacked on now. You've got Misu going 13-3, Kai going 10-4.
And that timeout has been called.
Yeah, you need a minute. You need to discuss, bring the troops back into line.
I was about to ask, what would you say if you're in this coach slot? What are you saying here in this timeout?
I'm thinking, where do you go? You've got these 2 giants either side. B site tending to be the weakest, but they're just unable to hold it. I'd focus on getting everyone back into the game mentally, because this is looking rough.
The GOAT's not really gonna give the Wizards that chance, as it's, you know, the time's going down, 13 seconds left of this timeout and 12 seconds to have a plan. Knowing LGPH, I've seen a lot of his VODs of his timeouts. He does like to analyze, he does like to pre-call. He's already got a plan in mind. He already knows what he's doing. I believe, I don't know if I just missed some pings there, but, you know, seems like the GOATs are calling for themselves here. But looking at this mini-map here, we can see that they're pinging Garage, and they kind of want to pivot towards C, whereas the GOATs have different plans to play an A hold fire between short and long.
Yeah, I like.
My camera is destroyed.
I like this idea. Pressure. See pressure.
Lugia
that mid side.
instantly found him.
We've been highlighting Kai and Misu, but Pyro's there as well.
The young
What on
gun
each
as
side,
well.
everywhere's a stronghold with this team.
Headshot. Watching this.
It's just hard to come back into stomps, you know, especially if you're 8-1 down. Not a lot really mentally in the chamber. You need to break it. There's something needs to click in those cogs, but when you have the GOATs literally disrespecting you by running into your spawn, what can you do?
What can you do indeed? 9-1. Coming into the penultimate round, it just doesn't look like there's much hope here. Honestly, I would sack off this half and just focus on the next one.
Completely.
Get your calls in mind. Have a long-term game plan.
I mean, realistically, they kind of need to focus on these last two rounds. If they can get these 2 rounds here, making it 9-3, then it's somewhat winnable for the Wizards. But the GOATs, they're just looking in form. It's really difficult to kind of create that.
Yeah, shooters everywhere really. It's hard to find a gap in this defensive line.
Portal closed.
So Wizards just waiting now, waiting for someone to push into them, get themselves that advantageous fight. But the GOATs aren't biting.
No, the GOATs are just gonna walk into Q2, and he's gonna get 3 with the Outlaw. He's gonna get 3. Of course he gets 3 in that angle. The
What
young
a
buck,
shot!
not even gonna get it. And to LGPH even hitting the nice shot in chat. Nice respect for him. Misu said TY. Did Misu even get a kill?
In the half.
I don't think he even got a kill. I'm actually not too sure. I wasn't paying attention to the leaderboards. I was more focusing on the fact that Kitsu just got 3 with the collat and 1 on its own. It was really nice.
Yeah, I love that outlaw buy coming out from them. I'm a big fan of the weird weapons: the Judge, the Outlaw, the Orb, the Odin. Put your rifles away when you go on Outlaw and you know what's coming. You know they're on a weaker buy. It's a strong gun.
It really is, and it's wow. You know, Wizards now again. What can they do? Kitsu is just going to kind of walk into it. Lugia tagging it twice with that silver roll. It's not exactly ideal, but
One enemy remaining.
everyone's just walking in. It's just a Ghost Masterclass, and Lugia again facing a 1v4 and being thrown with every single thing in the kitchen sink. It's just kind of impossible. An 11-1 half, and the Wizards are going to have to dig it. Okay, the Wizards are going to have to dig in deep. Kai, that's a red card.
They're gonna have to dig very, very deep.
Yeah.
Very, very deep. In that last round, you could see their util was well executed. It was flying well. It was ordered. It landed where it needed to, but they just couldn't find the shots to back it all up. I'm hoping to see some kind of trap play here, but we might be looking at a bit of a mid-brawl. This round could be over very, very quickly.
Yeah, and the GOATs, you know, so far winning, what's that, 9 rounds in a row since losing the conversion round. It's not
Only
exactly
losing that bonus.
Yeah, And that dart is landed on LGPH. That is so unlucky. And finally, the Wizards finding something here. For the first time in what feels like forever, they're in a man advantage against the GOATs. But still, him... I'm not good at it. Pyro and Kai before still alive to tell the tale. He is him today. He is him today.
He is.
And Rube, of course. So joined by Rube as well. Oh, come on.
Yeah, numbers go in your favour, but this is going to be a hard fourth battle back into the site. 2 in heaven, 2 in the CT. The shots just going wide.
It's all to do with that Apex Classic, but a team that's falling out of BCT, it might be time to get a new one. That Classic's not going to do you justice there. As the Wizards finally taking a pistol and making it 11-2.
Yeah, we might have missed that, but Lugia fell out of heaven and died.
Did he actually?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know. And poor Lugia. Well, I mean, at least they got the round, but you know, just looking at this leaderboard, the Wizards, they're also
getting the death money is actually optimal.
Yeah, they're also close to each other on this leaderboard, like 4 kills, 5 kills, 6 kills, and then you look at the GOATs, and it's just another ball league. 9, and then 15, 16, and 11. It's just, what do you do?
Yeah, you got numbers like that. No wonder the scoreline's sat at 11-2.
It's not looking good, but are they going to clear CC here? Misu, fantastic flick with the Sheriff. Didn't even clear him, just pure muscle memory. And KYCA, oh, Pyro reloading in the smoke, and also has the bomb. It's not optimal. It's quite suboptimal, in fact. And he's just making that Bucky his best friend, taking the pick, taking Misu down with him. Now, managing to regain the spike and getting this plant down, although... Kitsu's low. It's still winnable. It's a good round for the GOATs. But Wizards, they're starting to make it plays. They're starting to make it different, but they're still the kills going in favor of the GOATs. And Wizards now, Lugia, low HP, LGBH coming up through long. Do they expect him here?
They're not looking at him. Now they are. Cast is cursed, but the shot goes wide.
Last player standing.
Peekaboo and
Time left on his own.
Kind before. Big will to ask, and never mind, he gets the kill with that Apex Classic and
this time coming in handy.
Yeah,
point.
And GOATs 12-2. What can you really do here? I mean, you kind of have to use another timeout or just win this round and get another timeout. I'm not too sure. It's like when I watch the shameless plug, when I watch the Challengers games, a lot of people like to comment on timeout uses, specifically in certain matches. I won't name any teams, but if you like lose a bad round, calling a timeout can be really tilting and mess with the mental. I didn't actually think about it like that. Sometimes it can really bother you, and you kind of need to get that moment. It's now finally gonna hopefully get a good response, and as we get some brilliant camera work from Dashi. Shout out Dashi.
Shout out Dashi. Wonderful observing today.
Yes, sir.
There we go. Misu just into the back of sight. Separated from his team, but he makes it work. Trades with the way of the GOATs.
And the GOATs now CC in a 1v3 to get the top seed. I mean, realistically, what can you do? Guardian in hand, 125 HP, but Kai, Kitsu, and Ruben alive. What is there to play for? Top seed. You're going to get a second seed. It's still going to be ideal, but Kai not going to let it happen. 13-2 for the side of the GOATs, and they secure themselves as the top seed of that group. What a game from the GOATs. I cannot tell you. I was quite surprised with that, to be honest. I was hoping it'd be a lot closer. I've got a lot of praise for that Wizards squad and that roster. I was playing against them myself. I was really hoping they can bring that back and kind of be a bit more close. But unfortunately, you can't beat that. That was just a pure domination, especially with the two young guns as well. I want to highlight Kitsu and Pyro there. Pyro's done an amazing job finding those guys, and you know the Valorant's looking bright. What do you think?
Yeah, if that's the future, the kids are all right.
Kids are right.
I'm excited for the next few years of Valorant after watching that. But yeah, I was expecting a closer game than that. I don't know about you, but when you run into that firepower, it's hard to make anything work. brains over
Yeah.
brawn, and brawn just ran away with it.
And it was a completely different ball game, you know. It's commiserations to the Wizards, but they still secure that second place in the group. They're still 2-1, but Goat's coming in 3-0, and now we got to kind of have to look to playoffs, and the playoffs for this is going to be something. We had the Sea Dragons, what we thought was going to be the favourites, but Pit Ponies just came in and swooped them 13-1, and I actually did get sent the leaderboard. It was actually a 12-1 victory. It seems that the Sea Dragons actually FF'd on that final round and just gave it to them, which is suboptimal. But hopefully, this when we get passed over to the playoffs in the next week, it's going to be some great games. And now it's also best of 3. It's also best of 3. I gotta put that out. It's also best of 3.
They're best of 3, a lot more forgiving than this format today. This is the unfortunate part of best of ones. You see one team get completely run over and they don't get a response. They don't have a turn to talk back, but bringing that in next week, I'm looking forward to it.
So, and now, who would you say we've seen every team play? Who would you say is your group stage MVP? We'll get a Lendoth Charlie group stage MVP. Who would you say?
Player or team?
Both, team and player.
Honestly, I've just been excited by that Goats. It might be recency bias.
Recency bias. Well, I'll take it.
That was a strong performance.
My MVP probably would go out to Porridge.
Week.
Yeah, I'd definitely say my MVP goes out to Porridge here. Really good coach. He's got a lot
of
W coach, probably mastermind calling. You're not anything without the behind the scenes staff, especially here at Esports Wales, especially production as well. But I'd say Goats are probably my favourite going into this, and hopefully they can keep that form. Especially now that some of the Goats play will be heading over to Epic Land and getting that LAN experience. So hopefully coming back with a post-LAN debuff is going to be quite fun. However, we are gonna, if we might have the groups for you. I'm gonna throw it out there in the wind to see what that final one is. Okay, never mind.
No groups.
No groups, but what we can tell you is it's gonna be fun. So tell you what then. You got anything else much to say?
No. What a series of games we've had the past couple of weeks. I'm really excited for the playoffs.
Yeah, the playoffs, and it's been fun. Shout out to the production, shout out Kashi, shout out Dashi, shout out John, everyone that works hard on this. It's been good fun. However, we're gonna pass you over, and when we come back next week, it'll be Medante and Charlotte as some talented casters. W Medante also got his chance in VCT Clash as an analyst. So some great talents. Come back for some great voices. And I've been Lendoth, I've been Charlie. Thank you so much, guys, for watching.
You'll be left in good hands. Bye bye.